In this video, I will explain 4 ways on how you can earn yield by staking your Ethereum. These 4 ways vary in the amount of technical knowledge you need, in the amount of yield you can get, and they have different pros and different cons. We will go over them all. The first thing you can do is run a full Ethereum node. This requires high technical knowledge. This is the most secure way to stake your Ethereum. You have to trust no one but yourself. It's fully self-custody, so you're the only one who got the keys. You can always unstake your ETH. The only waiting time is the exit queue of the Ethereum network. While you learn to run the node, you gain a lot of knowledge of the Ethereum network. You exactly understand how the network works. With a full node, you can always sign transactions on Ethereum. You don't need a wallet or a third-party provider. You can just sign them yourself because you run your own full node. But for running a full node, you need quite a lot of hardware and software knowledge. You yourself need a lot of Ether. You need 32 Ether to run a full node, so that's a lot of money. It comes with some stress. Your Ether can be slashed. This means the amount of Ether on your node can go down instead of up if your node does not validate transactions, for example, because your internet connection doesn't work or you didn't do a software update. And you cannot use your Ether in DeFi, for example, because your Ether is staked on your node, so you cannot use it anywhere else. So you can also not use it, for example, as collateral. At the time of recording, the yield for running an Ethereum node is around 2.9% and it's paid out in Ether. The second thing you can do is run a node for a liquid staking provider, for example Rocket Pool. The technical knowledge is high to medium. The pros for this strategy are the same as the previous example, but you also get the ability to run a full node with only 8 Ethereum and later with even 4 Ethereum. You will earn extra yield on top of the normal Ethereum staking yield because you're helping the Rocket Pool network or the other LST network. There's a very active support community in Discord that can help you with technical problems. The node is easier to run and to maintain compared to the full Ethereum node without Rocket Pool or another LST service. The cons are about the same as the previous example with the full Ethereum node, but there's one added, and that's the smart contract risk. This means there can be a bug in the smart contract. However, most of these protocols stood the test of time because they exist for a long time already and they never had a bug. At the time of recording, the yield is around 3.3% on, for example, Rocket Pool. The third option is that you buy liquid staking tokens. They basically need no technical knowledge. Pros are that you don't need hardware or software knowledge. You have no stress to be slashed because it's not possible to be slashed with the liquid staking token. It's very easy. You just exchange your Ether tokens on the decentralized exchange for liquid staking tokens. You can swap your LST tokens back to Ethereum at any time without waiting. You can stake with as little as $1, so you don't need 4, 8 or even 32 ETH. You just need like $1 of ETH and you can already buy a liquid staking token. And you can use the liquid staking tokens in DeFi, for example, as collateral to borrow money. Cons are that you get significantly lower yield because the yield goes partly to the node operators, and liquid staking tokens have market-based pricing. So if everyone together wants to sell at the same time, the price of your liquid staking token goes down, so you can lose your yield you made on your token. With a lot of sell pressure, it can take months for the value to reach the fair value again. At the time of recording, the yield you can make with a liquid staking token is around 2.3%. The last thing you can do is stake on a centralized exchange. You need no technical knowledge for that. The pros are that it's very easy. You can just stake your ETH without technical hassle. You can stake as much as $1 of ETH if you want. There's no hardware or software knowledge required, and there's no stress of being slashed. Cons are that you get significantly lower yield because you give part of your staking rewards back or away to the centralized bank. The exchange controls your ETH, so they can also decide whether or not they give it back to you. So for example, if a lot of people are exiting the nodes, they can take like forever, 2 years if they want to. It doesn't matter because they simply control and you are not in control of your own money. You are never 100% sure how the centralized exchange uses your Ether. Maybe they use leverage, so they can also blow up and you cannot get your ETH back in that case. It happened before. Your assets can be seized because the central exchanges are in good connections with the government. So if the government wants to seize your Ethereum, they can. As at the time of recording, the yield varies a lot between exchanges. This is because they use different strategies with your ETH. Some even reward you with higher yield than the normal staking yield. And if they do that, you know they do more with your money than just staking. So there's also more risk involved. If you like this video and want to learn about the Ethereum economy, follow me for more.